Oh, boy, that was rough. Morning.
Good morning. How you doing, man?
I don't know about good morning. Jim Costa, John Jansen, Heather Park, Gov, and Greg behind the glass. Brendan Shabath on the updates. Lions had their measuring stick game.
Yep. They didn't measure up.
They certainly didn't, John.
It's a rough one.
Why'd they lose that game?
Well.
I mean, look, there's no shortage of things for people to call and bitch about today, and we've got 4 hours to hit all of it thoroughly. But just looking at you right now to start the show, why did they lose that football game? Biggest reason.
They lost in the trenches on the offensive side. That's the easiest way to put it. And that goes to the protection of Jared Goff and him being inaccurate. Now, there's, again, plenty to talk about with the quarterback position, wide receivers, but I thought it was the offensive line. And even if, hey, you're going for it on fourth down, and it is, you got to have it, and your all-world, all-pro right tackle gets beat right off the bat, I don't know what Jared Goff is expected to do, honestly. And yeah. I'm not going to defend him too much, but whether it was getting hits on the quarterback, it was batting balls down. I think they had, 5 batted balls?
Yeah, Jalen Carter had a couple of them. Jordan Davis had a couple of them.
And one of them obviously led to that first interception. That to me was that's where it all came down to. And what did I tell you last week? Key to the game was being able to win at the line of scrimmage. Now, defensive line, hey, nice. I thought that they did a tremendous job.
In an alternate reality, we're highlighting how great this team was at stopping the tush push.
Right.
And we're highlighting the defensive effort, which was good enough to win, and they wasted a top-notch defensive performance. Short field, sudden change. You mentioned from the jump, this defense gave them chance after chance after chance, and they squandered them all.
If you would have told me at the start of this game that the Eagles would go punt, field goal on a great field position, but then it was punt, field goal, and then they don't score a touchdown until their final possession of the first half, I would have thought, hey,
Lions
we're in pretty good position. I mean, you force that many punts for that offense, and it hasn't been a dominant offense, but with Saquon Barkley, with the ability of Jalen Hurts to tuck it and run it and throw the ball downfield to some good receivers, and they've had their issues, but to start off with that many punts, forcing that many punts, and just a couple of field goals, I would have thought, hey, they'd have been up 10 points going into halftime. Yeah. But when you lose the battle at the line of scrimmage offensively, there's not much you can do.
Jared Goff, per Next Gen stats, 1 for 14 under pressure. The one was the JMO 40-yard touchdown, and we can't even fully celebrate that play because he picks up a dumbass penalty, which would have given them the lead. They kick an extra point from normal distance instead of further back with the wind. The one touchdown they scored even is soured because John, by the way, he's already been penalized for this once before in his career. Like, come on, dude. This is the ultimate JMO encapsulation.
Right. He
faster than everybody. Wow, look at how great this is. Mixed in with a little dumbassery. John, like that's the only touchdown they score, and they do themselves no favors. That's the one completion Goff had when he was pressured. So, yeah, like problem number one is he was pressured too often. Problem number two is he can't handle the pressure.
Well, it's okay. Normally when it's just blitz, like he's very good at dissecting and the getting rid of the ball with the blitz. But this goes back to the Minnesota game. And if you have zero time to be able to look downfield and deliver the ball, get rid of the ball, that is, and there were times where he's getting rid of the ball and it's, hey, he's dirting it because there's just nothing available. He doesn't want to take a hit, doesn't want to take a sack. It's
well, and you know what really shows up is the money downs. I don't think they did a bad job getting to third and manageable or even fourth and manageable, but John, they went a combined 3 of 18 on third and fourth down, highlighted with 0 for 5 on fourth down. And I'm just going to get out in front of this. We're going to get some calls today that are going to say he should have taken the points. And we'll talk through it.
Yeah.
Here's my thought. 3 of those 5 fourth downs that they went for it and didn't get, they were not in field goal range. So take the points was only possible with 2 of them.
Right.
And let's say he does. He sees it's a defensive game. He shifts his philosophy, plays for this one. They add 6 points, and they lose by J-Mo's penalty. They needed to score a touchdown. To me, it's an execution issue. I don't fault them for going for it on these 4th and manageables. You gotta convert 1 or 2 of them, which is historically what they do and how they win.
Right, and we celebrate the fact that, hey, they convert a lot of 4th downs. We love the fact that Dan Campbell's aggressive. So we can't then say, and there are people that have said, hey, it's going to bite him in the backside, and it did tonight. Like, okay, you're right. But for the most part, we love how aggressive they are, and they've needed to be aggressive at times. They needed to be aggressive last night. However, in a game where you know it's going to be tough, both defenses are playing extremely well. Your own defense is playing great, not just good, but great. Now, hey, 3 points makes a big difference. You give your team those 3 points and you go out there and say, instead of, well, our defense can stop them, how about 3 points and our defense can stop them?
Yeah. You wake up today, you'll notice one thing. Lions aren't in the playoffs. Not going to do doomsday. There's a lot of football left. But I think if you would have told people headed into week 12, the Lions would not be in the playoffs, it would be jarring. So, look, there's a lot to talk about today. 248-539-9797. We'll have open lines. Want to know why they lost the game, the biggest takeaway. I don't think we have to ask some convoluted question. There's a lot to talk about from that game.
Right, and it's... All right, I'm gonna hit a pause button on the they're not in the playoffs.
I know. It's just a wow.
But at the beginning of the season, now we didn't think that the games would play out the way that they have. But what did we say after 10 games? If they could be 6-4, get to the back end of this schedule, they'll be rocking and rolling. Yeah. We didn't think that the wins would be the wins that they have, the losses would be the losses that they've had, but we did earmark this trip to Philly as, hey, that's going to be a measuring stick game. And the offense, as we started off saying, did not measure up.
Yeah. And I do think part of this now, too, is they faced 3 top 10 scoring defenses this season. 0-3.
Yeah. Oh, and just look at Philly and Green Bay last week. Everybody was like, "Oh, Green Bay, Jordan Love, they can't score, anything against this defense." Well, okay, neither did our offense. This is a good defense, so got to give credit to Philly.
Of course,
they're a really good defense, and it may be the best defensive front. Secondary, not so much.
The reality is, you got to beat 4 straight fronts that are going to be good to win a Super Bowl, and they aren't beating any of the great fronts. And again, they won't have the 1 seed. They'll have to win 4 playoff games to win a Super Bowl. John, they're effectively 3 games back of the 1 seed now. That's why this was such a big game.
Right.
So, look, we got phone calls to get to. I see you guys waiting. Ticket, text, phone calls. We're getting after it bright and early. 248-539-9797. It's 97.1